Hello guys, welcome to our channel Life Leo. In this video, I am going to discuss about input function, print function in Python. What is input and what is output? For example, if you want to give any value to your program, or if you want to read or take the input from the standard input device called keyboard, then in Python we have a function called input function. So how it is going to work? We have a syntax that a variable name equal to input function and a prompt message. This prompt message is optional because if you don't want to prompt any message, then you can omit this prompt message. So one of the main intention behind this input function is to read the input from the user or from the standard input device. Here what will happen means whenever the user gives an input, the input function is going to convert any data, whatever the data you will enter, the data into the string. Example, if you enter x equal to 10, then automatically this 10 is not going to store as the integer. It is going to store as the string in x. So if the input provided by the user is not correct, then it will raise an error, syntax error or exception by the Python. Now let us look into the example. X equal to input. Now whenever I click on run, look at here, it is waiting for the input. If I enter 10, okay, it executed and finished with the exit code 0. Now let us check what is the type of X it have considered. Now print of type of X. If I run this one, now it is waiting for my input. If I enter 10, now most of the people will think that whenever the value 10 has been entered, then the type of X will be integer, but it is wrong. In Python, if you use input function directly, then it will consider each and everything as a string only. Look at here, string. Working of input function in Python. How the input function works in Python? Whenever the input function is executed, the program flow will be stopped until the user has given an input. That means whenever an input function has been used, then automatically the remaining lines will stop their execution until you give an input. The text or message display on the output screen to ask a user to enter the input value is optional. This is none other than the prompt message. Prompt message is optional, whether we can give or not, that is our wish. Whatever you enter as the input function will consider it into a string S. If you enter an integer value, still input function considers it into a string. If you want to take the integer input, then what you have to do is you have to explicitly convert it into an integer in your code using the typecasting. What will happen when input function is executed? So just now we have seen that whenever the input function is executed, then first what it is going to do is if any prompt message is given in the input function or not will be verified. If any prompt message is given, then that is going to be printed on the screen. If there is no prompt message, then it is going to wait for the input from the user. After taking the input, the value will be assigned to the respective variable on the left side and then that is going to be exited. Now again we go for the editor, I will show you. Z equal to input. Now I am not going to take any prompt message in the input function. When I run this one, look at here, there is no prompt message. That's why what is the next step? It is going to wait until you give the input. It is going to be in the waiting state only. whenever you enter some value, then it will be processed and it comes out of the execution. Now, if you give the input with a prompt, enter a string. So the prompt should be kept inside a double quotation. Now if I run this one, then first the prompt message will be printed. Then the second step is it is waiting for the input from the user. If I enter 10, yes, it executed and it exited successfully. That is, when the input function is executed, if any prompt message is there, it is going to be executed first. If no prompt message, then it waits for the input. After giving the input, the value will be assigned to the variable and it comes out. Now look at here. If you want to read the normal variable value from the input function, then you can use that variable name equal to input function. Or if you want to read an input from the user with the prompt, that is what this one. Simple, n equal to input of double quotes and the prompt message what you want to give, that one. Now it is possible to read multiple inputs from at the same time from the user. How? With the help of a function called split function or split method. With the help of a split method, we can use the input function for reading multiple values at a time. What is the syntax? That is variable name equal to input of prompt. This prompt is optional dot split of on what basis your input have to split. That is the split identifier. Now let us look into the example. Marks equal to input dot split of, I will take my split identifier as the @ That means whenever the @ comes into the input, then that value is going to be splitted into the two parts. Then I am going to print off marks. Now run. No prompt message, that's why it is waiting for the message input from the user. Now I will type that 5 @ 6 @ 7 @ 8 @ 9. Now look here, 5 is a respective value. Again on basis of the @ it have divided and it kept into a separate element. Then 6 another element, 7 another element, 8 another element, 9 another element. So this is a multiple input from the input function using the method called split method. So how does the split method works? Whatever the identifier you give, based on this identifier, the respective values are going to be splitted into two parts. Now here I have taken the example of splitting the reading the 6 subject marks of the students which are separated by the comma. So this is a prompt message. Now whatever the input I have entered, based on the comma, it is going to be divided. Now if I want to separated by the semicolon as the split method identifier, then I can use this one, semicolon. Next, output statements. If you want to print any message to the screen, or if you want to print any values onto the screen, or if you want to print any data onto the screen, we have a function called print function in Python. So the message can be any string or any other object, or the object that will be converted into string before written to the screen. Now what is the syntax of this print function? So for printing the function, first and foremost is the values what to be printed. Then the remaining all are the optional, that is sep equal to separator, end equal to end, file and flush. These four are the optional ones. Now before going to the example, let's look the detailed explanation of what are the parameters of this print function. These are the parameters in the print function. First one is the value. Value is nothing but if you want to print any value or as much as you like, you can use these values which will be converted into the string. because if you take anything into the Python, then it is going to read as a string. Like that, while printing also it will convert it into the string. Now, sep equal to separator. The name itself mentions that it specifies how to separate the values. For example, if you are reading the multiple, or if you are printing the multiple values at a time, how to separate one value with the another value, that is separator. End. This end of parameter defines that what should be printed after the ending of the line. By default, the new line, that is /n, is going to be printed. But if you want to convert into the semicolon, yes, you can give the end parameter. If you want to give the double slash, yes, you can give this end parameter. Next one is the file. This is also optional. So, where you want to write, that is, if you want to write in the standard output, or if you want to write into any file, that is, an object with a write method can be defined in the file. Next one is the flush. So it is a boolean value specifying if after the completion of the work, if the output is flushed or buffered. What does this mean? That is, if the output should be stored or it should be removed from the data. By default, it is the false. That means it will be in the buffered state only. Example, let us print a normal simple statement without any values. Print of welcome to live Leo. Now run. Yes, this is a simple message without any parameter, without any variables and without any parameters. Now let us take that. I want to print this welcome to life Leo, where each and every word is going to be separated by the comma. Then what I have to do, this is the message, that is any value what I want to print, comma, and I am going to use a parameter called sep equal to comma. Welcome to life Leo. Now if you observe this one, we have welcome to life Leo. All the things are separated by default with a space, but if I want to separate with a comma, now if I run this one, then look at here, welcome, comma, to, comma, life, comma, Leo. So here, if we are having the multiple values, by default, when we run the multiple values in the print function, then we are going to separate with the space. But if we use the sep equal to comma, then it is going to separate all the values with a comma. Look at here. If you want to print a normal message, or if you print the multiple values, and if you want to print the multiple values followed, separated by a comma. Now next one. If you want to print the multiple values at a time, but value is separated by a semicolon. Simple. Instead of the comma, we have to keep the semicolon. Welcome, semicolon, to, semicolon, life, semicolon, Leo. If user wants to print multiple values at a time, but each value is printed in a new line. So, I want to take all these values which we are going to get like this, but I want to get each and every word into a new line. Then what I can do, at the separator I will use the /n. /n means new line. Look at here, welcome to life Leo. /n means new line. Now, if user wants to print the value whose ending should be with semicolon. Basically, if you look into the ending, we have the new line here. Now, if I want to end with the semicolon, then I can use that end equal to semicolon. Look at here. Whenever the last value executed, then it kept the ending with the semicolon. If you don't keep the semicolon, if you run this one, by default it is going to take the slash n, that is new line. Next, using slash n in print function to print values in new line. Now here 4 words are there. We are printing with the help of the separate equal to slash n. If you remove this one, if we have taken a single string like this, and if I want to print all this each and every word in the new line, then simply I can do slash n, slash n, slash n. Look at it, welcome to Life Leo. That means whenever you pass slash n into the print function, it is going to take it as the normal new line escape character. Next, we can use the format specifiers in the print function also. A equal to 30. If I want to print the A value, simply what I can do is print value of A is, then I can use the comma A. Run. Yes, I got the value of A is a prompt message, and what is the value I want to print? A value. That's why I got the answer as the 30. Now this is a normal one, but we can use the format specifiers like which we use in the C programming. Value of A is %d, and then after the string you have to put space, and then you have to use the %A. Run. Look at here. Value of A is 30. Value of A is 30. Both are same. So you can use the format specifier also. If you want to print the B equal to 11.25, then how we can do? Then print value of B is, what is the format specifier? F, percentage, what is the variable name? B. Run. Value of B is 11.250000. Now if you want to print the multiple values at a time using the format specifiers, how is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Let us look into here. Value of A is %d and value of B is %f and space percentage of A comma B. So if they are having the multiple format specifier variables, then percentage after that we have to keep the parentheses, and all the variables have to be kept inside the parentheses. Now %d is going to be mapped with the A, %f is going to be mapped with the B. Run. Look at here. Value of A is 30 and value of B is 11.25000. Now you may get a doubt that does it accept any characters? Yes, of course. Now I am taking a character C and I am assigning the X. Now how can we do? Value of C is %C comma space %C. I will take it as the GG because C is confusing. So GG. So run. Value of C is X. Now if you want to save the Ramu, then we have to use the %S. Look at here. Value of C is Ramu. This is value of GG. Sorry. Value of GG is Ramu. So that means not only the integer, not only the character, not only the float value, not only the string, we can print anything usually as the format specifiers. Now this is the same example which we have discussed. So I have taken the char 1 as a Y, character 1 is %d, %c. So the answer is character 1 is Y. Student name is called Shanmuka. So if I print that one with the %s, the name of the student is Shanmuka. Now if you want to print the multiple format specifiers at once, just we have seen that whatever the format specifier we have given, after the space, percentage, and then in the parentheses keep all the variables one by one, separating by a comma. First %d. So it is going to be, think this one, %f with B. printing the values of variables without using the format space. Yeah, without using the format space only means normal value, normal variable names. So whatever the string you want to print or display on the screen, that one, comma, then variable name. Now, if you want to print with the a value, just print. Whatever the display you want to display, that can be kept in the double quotes. Value of a is, then any string you want to print or anything you want to display on the screen, that should be kept in the double quote, followed by a comma, then variable name which you want to print. Run. Value of a is 30. If you want to print the multiple, then you can use this one. Value of a is, value of b is, then comma b. So first what it is going to do, value of a is 30, then I will write slash n, value of b is 11.25. Look at here, value of a is 30, value of b is 11.25. So these are the different print methods which we are going to print the values onto the screen or print the values of the variables. If you want to print the value of the multiple variables, yes, just now we have seen this one. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Life Leo.